recruitment, if it comes to the headhunting, if it comes to application, if it comes to speaking, if it comes to every. So she has this holistic knowledge of this industry. So who is a better person to have this conversation with, where we go about what is the strategies that we can implement in this times when it is so much of a tough time. So if you are a job seeker, this can be the platform for you to advertise yourself and put it up across to the people. So just go and rename yourself if you are looking or seeking for a job in a particular domain. So just rename yourself and let us know that, so that this can be a networking platform for you guys as well. So over to you, Pegah, to take us through the session. And it was indeed a pleasure giving the introduction to you, but all of us are eagerly waiting to what's happened in today's session. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Yash. I appreciate your presentation, and I was very, I'm very excited to be part of this show, and welcome to all of the audience. I'm going to share with you some information. I don't want to introduce myself again because Yash already did a perfect job. He did it even better than me. So in today's session, I'm going to share with you a few things. As Yash mentioned, I have published my book, which is The Formula. It has all the steps from the A to Z of job hunting. So I'm not going to share all of them because each chapter needs at least, so their own, how can I say, their own session, at least 1 hour for that, which later on you can attend to my sessions online that I'm doing on a regular basis. But for tonight it's about the mind shift. It's about the paradigm that we need to shift from the old paradigm to the new paradigm. So there are certain things is not working like before. So you cannot maybe easily meet, I don't know where do you live, but for example, I'm sure that in certain places still, they are like locked down, they've gone through the second one, they have the quarantine. So all of these things are not letting you to do your life in a normal way. And it's also affecting your job hunting strategy. So it needs to be certain changes, which I'm going to talk about them tonight. Okay, Yash, can I go through the presentation? Am I having the access to
Yeah, you do have, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to share the presentation right now. Immediately, we go through the presentation so we can after that do so many talks. If you have any question, first of all, bring your pen and paper. Make sure that you have pen and paper with you. So, and 1 second. Make so many notes about these things that I'm talking about. And if you have any question at the end of the session, I will answer your questions. Just 1 second. I need to go through the beginning of my, okay. Okay, cool. I'm going to share the screen now. If you have any questions also, you can put them in the chat box later on. I will for sure read and I will go through them myself. Okay. Can everyone see this screen for sure?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Nice, good. It's a bit tough, to be honest. I'm more like a person-to-person presentation person, girl, but like, because I need to get some feedback. I like, guys, you put some feedbacks on the chat box. Later on, I will see after the presentation and I'll go through that. As Yash mentioned, you can mention where, from which part of the world you are attending, what is your purpose, what do you want to achieve, that maybe after this presentation, we can go through that. So as Yash mentioned, I am Pegah Gol, career coach. So we're going through the next one. And these are the things, again, that Yash mentioned earlier. I don't need to mention them. So the session is your job hunting strategy during the world pandemic. We're going straight through that. So again, as he mentioned, as Yash mentioned, I hit my book, The Formula, hit it 4 times #1 bestseller. on Amazon within 6 months of the publishing. So as I mentioned, it's going to be covering from A to Z. I shared so many secrets of the industry that normally you won't know it, because I was a recruiter. I know certain things. We use certain, way of finding things. We went through the certain keyword searching. We know about the ATS, which CV is good for ATS. We make the CVs ready to be presentable to the hiring managers. So we know, as recruiters, we know a lot. And I've been in your shoes as well. I was a job hunter myself, so I know from the other side as well. So in my book, we have the top secrets, which we'll share. I will share a few things also during this session for sure. How to write your CV, and then master the interview process and preparation, because the interview itself has preparation and action. So, and how to leverage the technology. The technology is not only LinkedIn. I know that LinkedIn is a very important part at this age, at this era, at this pandemic time, to leverage it. But there are other things also. There are CV banks, there are other platforms that you can start to increase your chances to be seen. So you need to be kind of friendly with the technology to be able to increase your chances to be seen. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so I'm talking about the preparation first. The Abraham Lincoln said that, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. So what does that mean? It means that if you have 6 hours, you can start to shut the tree, chop down the tree. But if your axe is not sharp enough, maybe it takes you more than 6 hours even to chop the tree. However, if you sharpen it enough, if you spend too much time in sharpening your axe, then you chop the tree maybe in less than 2 hours. So we are working on some preparation side, the mentally preparation on the things before the action and all these things. So I'm going to talk about the preparation and the action. So the first thing you need to do, and I think is for everything, you need to have a plan. You need to start to understand what is your why you're looking for a job. Okay, is it like that you're just graduated, you want to look for a job, you never had a job, or you already lost your job due to the pandemic, or you're afraid of you're going to lose your job, So we saw that gradually certain big corporation started letting go of certain employees, and then we thought that it's finished. But as the pandemic got a little bit longer, they had no other choice because their cost was high. So they let go of some others. So in between of the first batch and second batch, second batch already worried. Anyone could have been that one that lost their job. So it might be a situation that you're in that situation at the moment, or you have your job, you're unsatisfied. For many reasons, you're unsatisfied with your job. Either they cut your salary way more than they have to, they give you more than what is mentioned in your job description, more tasks than that, or they were changing the management, or there were some other things that makes you uncomfortable, so you want to change. So first of all, find that one. This is very important, because then your strategy will change. The fresh graduate doesn't search for a job the way that senior C-level executive look for a job. You need to have a different kind of strategy to go through that. But we're going to cover the generic one, which is work for all, for sure. Also, we spend the 30% of our life in our job. Like, this is our career is 1/3 of our life. So it's very important to be particularly focused about what we want, because yes, you may not have a job right now. You may need to get something, and doesn't matter what, because you are in the situation that you need to pay for the bills and like schools and all and this. But what I can really recommend, you need to prepare yourself mentally for many things. Okay, so most important things that you need to prepare yourself and saying that what you want, what is it that you want? Write it down. It may sound a bit easy and you will like, oh no, it's not going to happen, but you're not going to have any problem if you write them down. It's not cost you anything, and I promise you, you will get very close what you want. It's like that you order from the restaurant. You go to the restaurant, you take the menu. Okay, I want this one. I want steak. I want it to be well done. Or I want vegetarian food and I don't want to have any dairies in it. And I don't have this and I don't have that. So you particularly order. This is the same. Even for your job, be very particular about what you want. What exactly, what is your desire? It may sound a bit funny to have this kind of expectation during the pandemic. I remember one of the candidates that actually reached out to me. He lost his job, reached out to me like I think 3 months ago. For he was looking for a job. I helped him with so many, like we had like a different sessions together, and I give him so many tips and tricks. He got few jobs, but there was like very less than what he was earning. And okay, I appreciate that at the moment the companies are not really having the budget maybe, but I told him, this is what you want. He said no. I said, okay, wait for what you want. It's not about the salary. So he waited. He trusted me, and just 10 days ago he texted me on LinkedIn, and he said, good news, I just signed the offer and this is exactly what I want, and it's more than what he was earning before. So these things are happening, and I see them on a daily basis. It's over a decade. I'm placing candidates in different job opportunities from junior to very senior level. So I can say that if you're clear of what you want, it's make your job much easier to achieve it. So I'm going to the next one. Another one which you need to understand is that during your job hunting, it's very important you keep your energy fuel high. Imagine a car doesn't have the fuel. How it can move? It's the same as ours. So you need to understand that disappointment is gonna be there. You may start sending hundreds of CVs, you're not going to get anything back. And that's very normal. Unfortunately, the way the whole job hunting works is quite old-fashioned. It hasn't come up with the new things, and there's so many errors there. And having some machines reading your CV before any humans is another way that makes it quite difficult. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, it's very important that you check all the channels that it can get you the job. I'm going to mention some of the channels that you can start doing that. One of them is the CV banks. So places like Indeed, places like Naukri, places like Golf Monster, Golf Talent, and all this, they're CV banks. You can start to apply, put your CV out there. But first, you need to work on your CV and increase your chances. Again, LinkedIn is another best way you can do. You can reach out to your friends and all, and you start to increase your network, which I'm going to talk about networking in particular later in the slides. And then you can start to also attending some workshops, start to, like networking through those seminars and workshops. You can reach through the people, but the most important thing is keep yourself positive. If you need to do exercise to feel positive, do that. If you need to dance to feel exercise, to feel excited, please do that. Every day I wake up and I have some very good motivational songs playing while I'm taking shower, and I start to sing and dance with it. This is how I start my day, and believe me, it makes the whole day working well for me. So try it, and maybe you can let me know later on LinkedIn if you if you're part of my community. Disappointment is there, is all about how you check on yourself. So one of the things that I always mention, if you are getting rejected, always think that there should be something better waiting for you, and this one actually make you avoid to going through some more disappointment. So don't feel that rejection is always bad. You can come up from the rejection, you can learn a lot from the rejection. And every time you're rejected from job opportunity, if you get the feedback, which normally not happening all the time, but if you get a feedback after, for example, your interview, it's very important tips for you that you don't do any more those things. And it's not always that you are not good. Sometimes you might be over qualified. It's not about you being underqualified or not for any job, or losing confidence during the job hunting is very easy. Believe me, I will explain my story later with Yash, but I was not working for a year, and when I wanted to go back to the market, I faced the same things, and this is how I came up with all this, because I just put myself in job seekers' shoes, and I understand that how easily you can get disappointed. So, okay, let's reach to this part, which is my favorite part. Networking. Networking is still the best way. I'm telling you why. Gotta sit. Okay, I'm telling you why. Because most jobs, I don't know if you're aware or not, most jobs actually don't get advertised anywhere. So when someone is leaving his job or her job, and the job is vacant or they are expanding, they have certain certain things that they want to work on that. For example, they want to have digital banking. It wasn't exist long time ago. It was very recent, 5 years ago, and there was all new jobs. And because of the technology is like really evolving these days, there are jobs there in those kind of domain. You see that, for example, especially during the lockdown and quarantine, lots of companies that they do deliveries, lots of groceries that they do deliveries, like these apps, they were booming. Zoom. Before pandemic, I remember when I wanted to do 20 minutes free coaching with my with the job seekers to explain to them, they didn't want to do it. They wanted to call. They didn't want to use Zoom, but Zoom has become very normal part of our life. So Zoom is booming. Zoom is definitely expanding. So many of these companies, they're expanding. So I will later on, I will let you know that what's the best way to do. Maybe you need to shift even in your job description right now and have some certain transferable skills that you can use for those companies. Anyways, at this moment, we go through the networking. We have two ways of networking. One of them is the face-to-face networking, the old-fashioned way, going through the certain things. So you can grow your network by calling your family members, let them know that either you lost your job or you want to change your job, you are actively looking for job opportunities. And then after that, reach out to some of your old colleagues. I know it may sound, you are begging for them, you don't like to do this, and you feel uncomfortable. They feel that you want to use them, and they feel that why he called me or she called me after many years. But believe me, first of all, this is a pandemic time. People understand. It's very important. It's very kind of, I'm not saying it's a good time, but it's understandable time. So if you reach them, they don't feel offended. They don't feel like what this one, you are not going to disturb them, because it may happen to them and they are aware of that. So they will see this call as something that they can also do to you later on if they are looking for. And you can ask them if they know someone to recruit, or let them know, and all these things. So certainly this is very important things that you can start to do. And then maybe your old managers, old bosses that they were in touch with you, you can get in touch with them and let them know. Sometimes they are happy to take you back. Sometimes they might have something in mind. Sometimes they may know how someone have something in mind. People forget. So don't think that they will remember you always. And then another one, which is the meeting people, like attending some workshops, so some event. Maybe you can go through, I'm really sorry. I don't have corona. just to make it clear. But I think I talk a lot.
We are meeting virtually, so we don't have any issues now.
Yeah, exactly. So, but when you're attending some workshops like that, I know it's not the possibility that you can start to chat with the others, but what you can do, the host page, the speaker. You can reach out to them in their pages. You can start to maybe comment in there, because they post that this person will be there. Maybe you can comment in that. You can get involved, get engaged, use every single opportunity to get engaged, to be there. Okay, and then some of the workshops are happening at the moment. Some of the seminars are happening at the moment, obviously with the social distancing, especially in Dubai. I don't know how many of you are from Dubai, but there are still some gatherings are happening, so you can still going through those ones and do that. I think there is an application called Airmeet or something like that, which is not working in UAE, but I think in India they use kind of things like that, to have an online networking sessions or that. So you can certainly attend to those ones and start to do networking online for sure. So you're reaching to. Shall I continue like that to the end, or do you want me to go through the questions maybe now, Yash?
Maybe you can quickly finish the
Oh,
presentation and then thereafter we can have the questions.
sure. Okay, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the most powerful tool at this moment what we have. So try to maximize it. Work on your LinkedIn profile. Make sure that your LinkedIn profile is like amazing. You need to be all star there. The picture, then I'm not gonna really go through that, how your LinkedIn profile does look like. It's about how you can utilize LinkedIn to work for you. So, but the important thing to have the proper LinkedIn profile. If someone's adding me without the profile picture, I probably won't even accept them. If someone's adding me, with no title, no job title, I won't add them. I don't know if they are even real people. You know what I mean? So it's important that you have all the information. Maybe it's not going to be the perfect one, but at least have certain basic information about you that people can trust you. And then I will explain now how you need to go about it. Networking on LinkedIn. So the first thing is, I'm really sorry, I need to just connect this one to the battery because it may get turned off. I'm really sorry.
So in the meanwhile, I want to give a shout out to Ravi. Ravi is looking for a job in water treatment industry. So if there is somebody who is there who knows somebody who can help Ravi, so Ravi is there in the chat box in the room right now. So you can go about helping Ravi. And also Redmi K20. I don't know your exact name, but he's looking for a job in core electronic sector. So if anybody can help him out, please reach it out to him. A big shout out to those two guys. Back to you, Pegah.
Perfect. I actually like that. See, you can start to do networking from in this way. So let me just go. Am I the host or no?
You are.
I cannot see myself.
One sec, I'll just spotlight you. Yeah, now you can see.
Cool. Okay, so So one of the ways everyone knows that we can add people, and obviously it's nice to, when you add them, you have a nice message written about them. I checked your profile, it was like interesting, you have so much insight, I would be glad to have you on my network. Please don't add people first with the default note that LinkedIn has. And second thing, immediately I'm looking for a job, is just disturbing. Try to create something. Imagine that if you are in the I don't know, in a networking event, in the seminars or something like that in the past, when we could go there, and then immediately we reach people and say, I'm looking for a job. They will be like, whoa, what this person wants exactly, So it's very important that you create some kind of understanding, little bit, go slowly, create that kind of warm feeling. Don't go cold to, okay, you have to help me. No one have to. Even the recruiters, if you get in touch with them, if they don't have a job, they cannot help you, really. And if anyone told you that I take money from you and I find you a job, they are not telling you the truth. No one will do that, because there are so many things will be involved, and no one 100% can guarantee that can get you a job. So this is for sure. I'm sorry. This is for sure. I'm telling you to know about this. So another way to do the LinkedIn, you need to go through the the post of the person. For example, you are in construction. You have so many people that they're in the construction company. For example, let's say, I don't know, Atkins, maybe. You search for them, you find the right people, you find the right person who's the hiring manager, not in HR. You know that this person maybe is going to be your future boss. So you can go through their page, understanding what they post, liking their post, commenting their post, not just, oh, that's very good, thanks for sharing. No, actually insightful comments that they can see, they can feel, they can read, and most people, they get like not many comments. It's always, if you are getting 200 reactions, likes, I don't know, like celebrate all these things on LinkedIn, the comments always are going to be half of it or even less. So they will read the comments. They want to know when they post something, what is the feedback of others. So it's very nice to do that. You can even post something relevant to them and tag them on the link. So this is the best way that you can create a kind of warm feeling, make them a little bit know you, and then you can start to go slowly and start approaching them and telling them, I was wondering if you can help, or if there is anything I can do, or you can, this is how you can go about it. But please don't do these things. Don't do for the, don't add people with the just normal invitation that LinkedIn has, the default one, and don't send your CV immediately, But before all of this, you need to make sure your CV is good looking, is really optimized, and also your LinkedIn profile is really looking good and optimized. So these two are important prior to that. So let's go to the other one. This is my favorite. It's the name of the chapter of my book, Be a Superhero. So you saw what Yash just did. He's a superhero now because he just helped one of the audience to get the shout out. He is not going to get any money out of it. It's not different, but he actually did that. So this is a kind of act that being superhero. Superpower. Check your superpower. Find out what you're good at. Sometimes you're good at just linking people together. So you say, oh, by the way, I know some guy is like doing this. I can refer you. Go and talk to him, or go and talk to her. So this is one superpower you have. And why is important? I will let you know at the end of this slide. And then you can go through the, I don't know, being the helping them with their CVs. If someone is reaching out to you and said, you know what, I'm looking for a CV, for a job, you say, I don't know, how can I help you? But maybe we can check how is your CV look like. Or maybe, for example, I know Pegah, she is doing CV review. You can go to her. Or there are many ways you can help them, many ways you can help them. Even one thing that you just get empathic and just saying that, hey, girl, hey, man, I know that you're going through a tough time. Is there anything I can do for you? Maybe I cannot find you a job, but maybe I can do something else for you. These acts of kindness are really important because people will remember that, and later on, if things turns differently, they will be there for you to also help you. But this is the best thing you can do. So by helping others, you're actually helping yourself, and things, you know, that whatever is goes around comes back around. So you need to make sure that um, be there, especially during the pandemic, is very important. The guy that I actually helped him and he got a job very recently, 10 days ago, he was helping others. Like, he was posting on LinkedIn and he was tagging so many job seekers. So he started helping others also. He could have said, you know, it's not really related to me. Why should I bother myself? Why should I do that? You know, they're not even in my field. But he did it. He was a superhero. He was a proper example of the superhero, and he got a job. Probably through him so many others got a job, and maybe because of the help that he actually did, someone else did the same for him, and that's how he got a job. So it's the best thing I can say at this moment during the pandemic you can do to make sure that first you're gonna get a job, second you helping others to get a job as well. So let's go through the, don't want to do it too long. So this is another very good quote I like about the, at the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel. So let everyone remember how you made them feel. They won't forget you, I promise you. So, and it's also, it's related to your memorable trademark or your signature. You need to find out your signature. What is your trademark? What you good at? And start to promoting that one. It's about the branding yourself. If you're good at, I don't know, read things, start to post videos. If you're good at writing, write things. If you're good at something very technical, the other day I was reading about UX and UI and I had no clue, but I was reading it because I wanted to understand. Someone posted that. So these are their trademarks. I didn't know what is the difference between coding and not coding, you know, but I start to learn that, and people are curious to know what is going on in this new world. So you can share whatever you have inside you, and this is your memorable trademark. This is your signature. My signature is my laugh. I have quite laugh, you know, so, and my unusual name, which normally people won't forget it. I will post something about someone who reached me after 11 years and still remember me. That's quite achievement. That's a signature. That's a trademark. It could be as simple as a laugh, or it could be something very technical. Maybe you're in supply chain. I have so many people at the moment in my community on LinkedIn. I call them my tribe. I'm part of their tribe too, and they're like in supply chain. I had no clue about supply chain in the past, so, but and now I am knowledgeable. I know so many things about it, you know, because I'm following their posts. They start to make the brand of themselves. So it's very important. Whatever is in you, whatever you're passionate about it, even if it's not 100% related to your job, make it relevant. Make it relevant of who you are, of doing that perfect job. So this is something that, you know, it's a very tricky thing. It's a secret that if you do it, I promise you, you will have an impact in people. They will remember you, even if in the first interview you don't get, for example, someone who interviewed you maybe referred you to someone else because they cannot forget you. Or even if they have a job which is going to be freeze during the pandemic, but they already interviewed you, when the job is on again, they will remember you. Out of 10, out of 40 applicants, they remember you because of who you are. Just keep that one with you. Walk with it, talk with it, and write about it. You know, just be that things that you are, who you are. It's very important as well. So at the end of the day, my aim is to guide every individual to identify their talents and strengths and not settling for any job unless that they enjoy what they do and they're passionate about it. This is really my aim, and I'm hoping that I achieve it every day more and more. These are my social medias. You can connect me on LinkedIn, you can connect me on Instagram, or you can subscribe on my channel on YouTube. Also, I'm offering so many other courses which are on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, depends. We can have like a kind of similar, I have something similar to this, so, but very, into details, and for every chapters of my book. And even, I think reading my book with a little investment is not huge. It's like less than, I think, $18. So you can have the book, and it's not gonna take so long. Even it's quite short, so you can read about these all chapters in details that I shared with you. So thank you so much for being with me and spending time with me. I'm going to remove the stop sharing the screen with you. So I'm with you, Yash. Let's go through whatever you want to do.
Thank you very, very much, Pegah, for this wonderful insights on how do we go about job hunting in this particular situations of pandemic, where we have so many of different strategies that have to be involved. It's just not because of the pool of applicants that are looking for a job, and how do you make you stand out. A very beautifully crafted, to the point presentation, I can say. I will straight away jump into the Q&A with you right now. My first question is about settling down. Now, when I say about settling down, to what level of, like, I've seen people kind of, doing the job that is, less than 30% of their pay scale or 50% of their pay scale, because it's been said and it's been told to everybody that this year is more of a survival year rather than a thriving year. A lot of people have taken this, and I have particularly taken this as my mindset right now. So is it a current mindset to be in, that I will just survive this year or maybe first quarter of the next year, and then I go about, thriving myself, then I go about, the goals that I've set for myself, that I should be promoted by now and all sort of things.
Okay. Yes, I understand that, and this is something that everyone going through that, including myself. It's not about only finding a job or something like that, but in general, I think all of us, we are going through different challenges during the 2020. There is no exception. I can feel that. Even if you are financially fine, there is something else that makes you busy, makes your mindset change, and all these things. What I find out during these years, because I actually find a job during 2008. I reached to Dubai. I was going and coming because my parents were here, never like stayed, but I decided to stay at the end of 2007. So by 2008, it was no jobs. So
Yeah,
you remember that or not? I don't know.
I've heard about it. At that time, I was not a job seeker. I was just.
Yeah, but I was a job seeker, and it may sound a bit difficult to accept, but this is your mindset. I just mentioned about the one particular person, which he was not happy with the offer. I said that if you're not happy, if you feel that you don't take it, don't take it. He was out of job for 3 months. He reached to the point that he was a bit like, okay, let me take this. But it's about the mindset, and if you're whatever you're offering, and if you do good negotiation, and if you bring up whatever you adding value to the company, I'm sure that they are not going to be like really bad with the offer, unless that everyone in that level, for example, let's say that they decrease their um, customer service managers salary, like by 1/3 or whatever, so by 25%. Unless that, and they said that this is temporarily, we're gonna, after this pandemic finish and things go back to normal, we're going back to the full salary. then that's fine. But if they want to just offer you less than whoever else is there, that's quite unfair. And it's all about your mindset. Your mind can find whatever is right for you. I know that I'm really sharing particular, very, how can I say, very helpful like methods that practical, very practical methods that you can get a job. But the whole thing is happening here, the whole thing. And I've been a recruiter and I've been a job hunter myself. So it's all about this more than anything else. You know, if you know what you want, if you know what's your worth, if you have things that you can add value, you can do it. You know, the second time I was looking for a job, which before I write my book, I remember they offered me something. It was way below the salary that I have because I have a gap, and the gap was really for medical reason. So, but they offered me less, and then I arranged a meeting and I met them and I explained to them the values that I can add. I increased the offer by 50%. They were like, we were amazed when we came out of the room and we were like, we should offer her. You know what I mean? So these things are there, but I saw the result of not giving up, not having this mindset, not settling down, unless that you're really in a difficult situation, which is
So
it's
that's a wonderfully said that it's all about in the mind, and then how do you go about having those negotiations and all. Now, let me take you to the very basics of human survival. And as it is being told, it's been said in Hindi, like it's roti, kapra, and makan. I'll just translate it for the benefit of the audience. It's like the food,
right.
shelter, and the clothing. That's what the necessity of an individual to survive it about. Now, the problem comes when one of these things become vulnerable to your situation. Now you may cut down on your spendings of luxury and cars and all, but when any of these three becomes vulnerable, you kind of go into that moment and you kind of project it. Okay, my savings would be able to cater to this for coming 4 months, like myself, and then I have my society and my family and all. Now what happened to what to come out of that mindset? How do you tell about doing this? You did mention about do having that positivity, but the negative influence is so high that you kind of the positivity just gets hidden away somewhere, and that's been happening with every single job seeker that is there in the market right now.
Yeah, I totally understand. I've been in that mindset too myself. Um, and yes, it may reach to the point that you feel that, you know, like I'm running out of time, and it's really affecting me. Okay, I'm going to put it in the best way, because this was not part of my conversation, so I need a little bit to put it in the best way, because I've been through that. I passed through that, and not even once, maybe three times, and it reached to the point that I mastered it. When the pandemic happened, I was not affected at all, because this is all about here, all about the mindset. Having the I know that we are all coming from the different belief system, but all of us, we believe in something, and we believe that we are perfect, we're complete, and we get our, how can I say, in Arabic they call the risk, which is like whatever we gain, it's coming as a salary or as anything. It's something that we have it no matter what. It shouldn't be only from the job. And if you think that at this moment you cannot get the job that you're looking for, sit and think about what else you have. This is a survival mode. So, what else you can do? As I mentioned, at the moment, there rise of other things. The jobs are there. There are jobs. Maybe not as much as in hospitality, because hotels are not working well. But there are jobs in other things, which is the new startup techie places. For example, if you are good at, like, I can see that lots of, at the moment, lots of social media jobs, social media officer, social media, start to think
Content
what
creator,
else,
content promoter, market lead generator. There are so many things coming up here.
things, like lots of things. Believe me, there are jobs there. You just need to change your mindset. yes, you may done this and then up to certain level, but you like to do also, I don't know, some marketing, some social media branding, some graphic design, and some of these things you can even learn online at this moment, and you can start to scale. Or some transferable skills that you have, you can start to use those ones. Certain things came to me during the pandemic, which I never thought that they're going to be my job, or they're going to be something I'm doing, or they're going to be something I like to do, or I never thought about them. You know what I mean? But I'm sure so many organizations also, they reach to the point that, like, there are certain things that need to change. Maybe you can help them with those change. Maybe you can approach them directly and say, you know what, I think your page on Instagram needs something like that. You can get much better, and I can improve that. Try me first
I
for
think the
free.
same thing happened with me recently. A girl from Kolkata reached out to me and she said that I can work better on your Insta page. And then I started connecting. And she was jobless, but now she's kind of working with us, getting that experience.
Yes, do the market
Also
study,
thought
go
of,
through that.
putting up your skills there, observe what is there in happening in the community, and if you can have that value add, that is one. I would just do one more question from you, and this is about the validation part, and this has been like personally I have been struggling with, and I'm pretty sure in the audience as well. Now I don't know what my worth is. Am I to be paid 20,000 dirhams, or am I to be paid 40,000 dirhams, or am I to be paid 30,000 dirhams? Generally, all this has been defined by the market standards that are there set. Now, how do you go about telling that my worth is this much? Is it my previous employer used to pay me this much, or I deserved much more better than what my previous employer was paying me? And generally, I think that's where the communication gap happens, because you kind of judge yourselves on your existing salaries, and then you kind of say, oh, I was doing much more work than what they were paying me, so I need more. How do you go about having those communications, and is there some specific tools where you can actually find out what your net worth in the market is?
Yes, sure. Okay, there are a few things I want to talk about. Yeah, there are sometimes some more companies, like mostly like this recruitment agencies, they do kind of survey, and they said, okay, for example, marketing executive, the salary range is this much for each and every like country. Normally you will see that is coming from McKinsey, either they're like
So are these reports public for anybody in the audience? So how, yeah, okay.
normally that you can download it from their website. So if you search on Google, you'll find them. But I mean, one thing I find out sometimes, like certain people that they join organization in certain years, they get certain salary, and then suddenly after 5 years, because the salary ranges changed, the new joiners are getting even more than people who were there for 5 years. It's not fair, I know. But what you can do before joining any organization, you can even use this one as a part of your networking when you reach people. You can say, do you have a time maybe for quick coffee, or maybe we can do quick Zoom, and you can start to go about this, and you can say that I don't know what is my worth. Do you have this information? I mean, you don't certainly don't ask them how much is their salary right now, but
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 that's a very good point made, and I have not been doing that thing personally. That reaching out to the other companies' executives and finding out, and validating myself that I have the skills. Do you know how much can be the worth of me as an industry professional? I've never done
exactly. This is the best way of also starting to creating good rapport with the person. Some kind of like being a bit honest, being a bit like understand, like want to have some information from people. People love to give you information. Believe me, if they feel that their information is helping you, they love to do that. I met at least two candidates per day within 10 years. It's reached to some 5,000, 6,000 something. I met them in person because I had job for them. I wanted to understand them, and I asked them so many things because I wanted to educate myself. And I asked them, okay, how did you achieve this, 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 this? No one said I don't want to share this information. They were all happy because they feel that they're adding some values. Who gonna ask them if no, not you or someone else? So this is something they feel that they are adding some value to you. And obviously you need to show that they're actually adding value to them, and you can ask them. And this is going to be maybe the first thing. You don't need to share your CV immediately. You can have a quick questions like that, and then start the conversation, and then you may become a best friend by the end of the job hunting search, you know. So and this is another way you can find out. I don't know, I hope that I covered it well.
Yeah, because and the point that you mentioned about, how one thing can take to many, many things, just one conversation, one Zoom call can actually open the horizons for you. And I have connected to so many people in this lockdown just because of this Zoom. So thank you, Zoom, for this. And so my last question for you would be, how has been your feeling coming to empowerment talks, and the way I know we had scheduled you before, but then we moved you here and giving this talk and connected to us. So some beautiful words for our platform.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think Bellini went through a difficult time with me because she approached me a long time ago. I wasn't really ready for, like I had so many things. I was so busy because I suddenly got so much busy with so many sessions, so many like a training, so many seminars, and I really didn't have time. For 1 month, I didn't even have time to post on social media. You know what I mean? So but you guys were patient, very important, consistent. At the beginning, I wasn't sure if, how is the platform, if they're going to continue or not. I was like taking also my time to check you out, watching some of the episodes, find out
Thank
what
you very
is
much
the.
for watching. At least somebody is watching us. Good to hear.
Sorry?
Thank you very much for watching it on YouTube.
Of course, yes. And then, I went through it. Everything went so smooth. I like the way that you guys started with the with the social media things and how we talked before that. Really appreciate that. You guys are doing great job, and I'm sure that it's going to get to the great places as well.
Together we'll prosper. So thank you very much, Pega, for coming to the platform. And I want to thank everybody of you who are joining us on YouTube right now. A big shout out to our YouTube audience, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel right now, because these are the daily conversations that inspire. And this is where you engage, you evolve, and you inspire with the business leaders and influencers from all
So,
around the world. And
so
before
before
I
you go,
go,
Yash, I just want to check how many we have on Zoom. Do you have the numbers? How many people?
yeah. And before I close the stream on YouTube, I want to give a big shout out to Pradeep Nair. Pradeep Nair is looking for a job in IT management consultancy. He has been into 20 years into this industry. So I think he's there in the Zoom. So if anybody is looking for a job, or Pradeep, I would appreciate if you can put your links on the YouTube comments, because for a person who is watching us on YouTube can reach out to you. Thank you very much for joining us on YouTube. And now